Hello and welcome to Farms.com Risk Management Daily Bottom Line for May 2nd, 2013. I'm Mark Loading, and today we are going to look at the latest grain export numbers that were released earlier this morning. So, U.S. corn net export sales for the week were reported at 329,000 metric tons for 12-13 and 656,000 metric tons for 13-14. This is well above market expectations of 300 to 450,000 metric tons. Exports up 403,000 metric tons were up 25% from the previous week and 10% from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations were to Japan, Mexico, and Jamaica. Also, accumulated exports for 12-13 now sit at 12.5 million metric tons this year. This is down from last year's total at this time at 27 million. U.S. soybean net export sales were reported at minus 109,000 metric tons for 12-13 and 1.3 million metric tons for 13-14. This is well above market expectations of 600 to 900,000 metric tons. Exports of 356,000 metric tons were up 86% from the previous week, but down 2% from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations were China, Indonesia, and Mexico. Accumulated exports for 12-13 marketing year now sit at 34.2 million metric tons. This is up 17.5% from last year's 29.1. U.S. wheat net export sales for the week were reported at 219,000 metric tons for 12-13 and 497,000 metric tons for 13-14. This is also above market expectations of 350 to 500,000 metric tons. Exports of 845,000 metric tons. This is a marketing year high. We're up 56% from the previous week and 34% from the prior 4-week average. Primary destinations were Mexico, Brazil, and Nigeria. Accumulated exports for 12-13 marketing year now sit at 23.2 million metric tons. This is down 1.6% from last year's 23.6. So the bottom line. Export sales are strong this morning and were supportive of the markets thanks to the large wheat number that came in. Net sales up 219,000 metric tons for 12-13 delivery were up noticeably from the previous week but down 14% from the prior 4-week average. Meanwhile, 2013-14 sales of just under 500,000 metric tons put the net total well above industry estimates. U.S. corn export sales were also strong this morning, coming in with net sales of 329,000 metric tons for 12-13, which was up 5% from the previous week and from the prior 4-week average. New crop sales were very strong at 656,000 metric tons, which put the net total above market expectations. Weather is still the focus of the market as planting progress continues to fall further and further behind. Export sales were supportive this morning, except for old crop soybeans, where rumored Chinese cancellations came to fruition. Soybean exports were a negative 109,000 metric tons on old crop due to cancellations and a strong 1.3 million metric tons of new crop. So in other news, very little change has been suggested for the upper level cutoff low pressure center that is forming today in the western U.S. Corn Belt before moving easternly, influencing the remainder of the Midwest, Delta, and southeastern states through the weekend and into early next week. Initial estimates for the planting progress report for Monday came in at 10 to 15%. However, the markets could get a little disappointed if once again the number comes in below expectations and below that 10%. So the corn market was able to finish off of yesterday's low, supported by continued weather issues and strong ethanol production. The EIA reported stocks down 3.4% to 714 million gallons, the lowest since November of 2011. USDA reported private sale of 290,000 metric tons of soybeans going to China for 2013-14. ICE Futures Canada canola contracts closed lower on Wednesday as speculators bailing out of long positions and spillover from the declines in the Chicago Board of Trade soy complex weighed on the values. The wheat tour, sponsored by Kansas Wheat Quality Control, on the second day estimated yields at about 37.1 bushels an acre for the 264 stops that they made. That compares to 43.7 bushels an acre for the areas surveyed last year. Pork cutout was up $1.17 last night at $87.89. some hogs could get pushed into next week. The numbers are tightening seasonally, and bids are expected to remain firm. The pork cutout is down $2.10 at noon today. Our sources report that domestic processors had backed away from the market in recent days. Rain will be most significant over the next several days in Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and some intermediate neighboring border areas. Many of the crop areas in these states will see poor field working conditions for a while. So again, look for that crop progress report on Monday and see if we hit that 10%. Snowfall overnight reached over 10 inches in southeastern Minnesota and varied from 2 to 6 inches in other areas for northwestern Iowa and northwestern Wisconsin. We have heard today that there's been a couple of hog barns in these areas that roofs collapsed over the amount of snow that they received. So still looking like a lot of snow and maybe some large delays continuing. Argentina will receive some rain Wednesday, and we'll see some more today into Saturday before dry weather resumes. Brazil far south will see some good periodic rainfall Friday into the weekend to support second season corn development. The ECB president says he expects economic conditions to stabilize later this year and slight growth to return in the latter half of 2013. The ECB lowered their key interest rate to 0.5% from 0.75% and their marginal lending rate to 1% from 1.5%. That's all for today, and until next time, thanks for watching.